So I'm really interested in what the Federal Government's going to do when it comes to this industry. And I guess I want to ask the first question, Mr. Fuchs, Mrs. Fuchs, Mr. Osterman, and Ms. Friend. If you, and following up on what Mr. Mulvaney was talking about, if the regulatory control is so strong to restrict or otherwise cut off the supply, if you will, of payday loans, is it your understanding then that the demand would go away? Ms. Fuchs?
Well, the Bureau is looking at payday lending right now and looking at whether rules are advisable.
But I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is that we could all agree that if you can, through Operation Choke Point and what other methods that have been out there, to try to prohibit the market from existing, that the demand will still exist, will it not? There will still be people who will need the use of payday loans. I mean, even banks don't want payday loans. There is a market niche for payday loans, is there not, Ms. Fuchs?
We understand that there is a need for small dollar short-term lending, and the Bureau is very conscious of that and working.
And Mr. Osterman, you would agree too?
Yes.
And Ms. Friend, you would agree as well. We have to live with the fact that that demand will be there, and if we try to overregulate the supply, there will be a black market for it that will make matters worse, and I think Mr. Osterman kind of alluded to that when he was answering Mr. Mulvaney's questions. Now, having said that, Operation Choke Point talks about making sure that illegal entities are not given the banking relationships, but has there been any guidance for legal entities in that regard under Operation Choke Point? Mr. Osterman.
Well, again, Operation Choke Point is a Department of Justice action going after illegal activities. What we have said at the FDIC is, as long our efforts are not going to be we're not targeting legitimate business, and all we want to make sure is our banks are running a safe and sound manner.
I appreciate that, but I've had people come to me, bankers come to me recently, within the last month, 2 months, who have been told that because of the what was it, the reputational risk, that they should not be engaged with this particular entity. Now, this is a legal entity. Are you offering any guidance to these banking institutions as to what legal entities is okay with them to operate?
We have issued a financial institution letter which has gone out to the industry, indicating that as long as the bankers are dealing, they do their due diligence and ensure that those entities are operating in a legal manner.
And do you give them the standards of that due diligence, or is that left open to a?
That's to them, and we're not going to prescribe that. But we've also gone and had our regional offices and field offices and told them that this, as long as people are acting in a legal manner, it's not our job to.
For those banks that have been wrongly terminated in terms of their relationship with legal entities, have you done anything to facilitate the rebuilding of those relationships?
I mean, this is something that's just happened very recently.
Yes.
I mean, right.
Yeah.
And so, we are again, letting our examiners know what the expectations are. And I think there was an article today in the Banker indicating that the industry itself is looking at how to police itself and create some standards that could be used to ensure that they're operating in a way
these legal entities are not interrupted with their banking relationships. Mrs. Friend, the OCC has been very quiet on any guidance. Is that a pattern that I think we're to expect, or do you expect there to be some guidance with regard to payday lending and Operation Choke Point, for that matter?
So we don't have any guidance on Operation Choke Point. As it's been said before, it's a Department of Justice investigation, so we're not part of that. We had issued guidance in 2008, and our examiners and banks have been following that, and that basically suggests that the banks have to do due diligence when they bank different types of customers.
And one quick question for Mr. McKenna, because I don't want to leave you out there. I know it's been a little quiet lately. With regard to risk-based capital rules, do you have a time frame for the implementation of those? Banks had 1 to, I think, 2 years to have it. What do you say?
The comment period currently ends on May 28th, and we'll be considering all the comments, and then we'll decide on implementation after that.
Okay. Thank you. I yield back.